My name is Rhapsody, his name is Retromation, and welcome back to the video games. How's it going, Retromation? I'm just proving that I don't know anything about you, that I've never watched one of your videos. I'm just... Hello, Retromation. We've seen that you've played games with pixel art before.
Absolutely. I was just, no, actually, no, because they might, no. I don't want to call anyone out. I don't want to call any developer out who sent me an email recently, but they were like, "We're glad you played this game," and I'm like, "I never." But thank you, thank you.
I'm always a big fan of we were a big fan of your channel video live on Twitch right now. Yeah. It was really good and showed that you interact with your viewers. And I'm like, excuse me, that was a trailer. A stream?
Absolutely, I did. I interacted something fierce. Rhapsody, what are we doing?
We're interacting something fierce with the game. In particular, we are trying to polish off the rest of these bundles. We are in the end of fall. We've still got all of the animal bundle to do, so if you could go attend to the animals at the bottom of the farm, make sure that they have some hay as well. We've got winter coming up soon, so we'll have the snow yam for completing all of the craft room bundles. The fish tank just requires a walleye right now. Walleye requires a rainy day, which we still haven't gotten. The bulletin board is a little more stringent. Red cabbage is the start of the next year we can get that. Duck feather, we should just be constantly looking in the traveling bazaar in order to try and pick that up. Purple mushroom will appear in winter as well. We could pretty much finish the chef's bundle at any point. Fodder bundle, we just need one more apple, and we can purchase some wheat in order to finish it. A rabbit's foot is going to be a little annoying for the enchanter's bundle, but again, that can be bought from the other person, the bazaar person, the bazaar.
The bazaar. Mm-hmm. What is that? Is that in something? The bazaar? Something.
I don't know if it is. I know that Peak, my partner who runs a queer D&D actual play podcast, has a character called Baron Bizarro's Bizarre Bazaar, which is effectively like their kind of, here is where all the magic items that will level you up are. If you're familiar with the Adventure Zone at all, it's kind of like their fantasy gachapon or their Garfield.
Yeah, I absolutely. Did you not catch my reference in our last Dungeons and Darkests?
I did. I sniffed up a reference and I was like, wait a second, is that a reference?
I started listening. I've been watching my phone while it plays the podcast, and a little bit ago, and now I'm on episode.
Excuse me, you cut out at the very end there. Episode what?
Like 40.
Yeah.
Today again? Oh, man.
Get back in there, cow.
Jiminy G's.
All right.
But yeah.
We just let that cow go loose. Never mind.
Yeah, it's fine. Who cares? I don't care what happens. This is a podcast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it is. So how you feel? Like, I imagine you're on the balance arc, right? Wait, they don't refer to it as the balance arc yet, do they?
The what now? Maybe just don't say anything.
No, that's not a spoiler. It's just how they differentiate the different seasons of the Adventure Zone. Like,
it's still the first.
Yeah, they've got the balance arc, which is the characters Taco, Magnus, and Merle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might be wrong about 40. I think I might have pulled that out of my butt, but
it's totally okay.
It feels like a lot.
It is so good.
It's very good.
If you're at 40, you might be up to, and this is no spoiler, it's just a word that might ring something. Wonderland?
Wonderland?
No. Okay.
Maybe. I can't remember are you saying that the name? I mean, this is very great for all the people who totally know what we're talking about. So I'll just drop it. But we'll talk about it after, I'm sure.
Hell yeah. We've got the steel watering can becoming a gold watering can at the moment as well. That's why I couldn't water the plants back at base.
All right. Wonderland. just go right back into it. Why not? This is the Adventure Zone zone.
the Adventure Zone
in Stardew Valley. Do these things even need to be watered? They kind of look like weeds.
They might be weeds. Have you checked if they're weeds?
I eat these weeds.
God, I hope it rains tomorrow. Please rain. I'm actually desperate, game. I've just been waiting for a rainy day for so long.
Here, let me. You know what? Just to throw a bone at you, I will just actually look at the 11th hour, chapter 3. That's what I'm on. It is episode 43. I was right.
Right. That is actually my my favorite mini arc for that. So enjoy. So
Yeah.
God, it gave me so many ideas for what I wanted to do with for my own D&D, and it actually kind of transformed my own D&D playing experience. Like I am now much more of a role player than I was before I started listening to actual play D&D podcasts. Because you start to like discover the actual fun of it rather than I want my paladin to crit for big numbers, which was what I used to do.
Yeah. I mean, what is that scale called? The which player are you?
Mm-hmm. Your Timmy, your Spike, your is that one or?
Yeah, I feel like we've even talked about it in this series. I feel like we've talked about. There's nothing new to talk about, Rhapsody.
There's nothing new under the sun.
We've grown old.
So let's go back to the same conversation we had in the first episode.
You never
then
surprise me anymore.
I surprise you, Reto.
Okay.
It's my old man voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy.
We also need a sweet berry gem or the rare seed to pop up so we can get another star drop. Although, like, we don't need all of the star drops at all.
I don't really care because they're not part of the bundle. Like, I mean, if they're on a day where we don't have anything to do anyways, like, sure. Like, but I don't know. I don't like care that much if I have more energy.
Fair. One thing we might want to do is upgrade the house, the farmhouse again. Because if we do, we can try and get it to have a kitchen, and when we have a kitchen, then we can actually cook things like the fried egg that we're going to require for the chef's bundle. Unless we just find a fried egg around.
Probably too late today, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we close at 4? Yeah. Yeah.
I also went to Marnie and I was like, it's 4:40, maybe Marnie's open. No, it's past 1 p.m. Marnie clocks off early. Marnie really knows how to balance that work-life balance.
Work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
You've also said this to me before, Rhapsody. You never surprise me anymore.
You're right. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's just do it. It's okay. This is like the episode in the sitcom where they just like they don't have the budget to do another episode, so they just say things that they said in prior episodes.
So it's a mix between a bottle episode and a clip show?
Yeah, like a clip show. Mostly clip show. Like a clip show, and they're like, look, we did bother to record like a couple scenes just to kind of explain why this isn't just a slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a fan-made video of our favorite top moments on YouTube. Like, oh, do you remember the time when my favorite thing, a show that's ever done that, is when Community did an episode where they posed the clip show, but none of the stuff had ever happened in the show before.
I was actually thinking about that when you were talking about that. I was going to bring it up.
Fantastic.
I just rewatched all of Community like in the last 2 weeks.
It's a very good show. Unless you don't think so, then I hate it.
It's a very awful attempt at making a bad show.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
What's going on?
It's an awful attempt at making a bad show. Oh damn! Got him roasted, toasted, burnt to a crisp.
No, it's been my favorite show. I watched the first episode when it came out live, and ever since then I was this is my favorite show.
Mm-hmm. I loved it for a while, and then I think I stopped watching after the Gas Leak season, and then I've only just really finished it. Now.
Fair. I mean, I feel like there's merit to. I feel like they did a good job of closing it out with all the tools they had, and I think that there's real merit to the last 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. It's
which sucks because different showrunners. There was parts that like all the actors still did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Like the writers still did a good job. It did feel like it felt like fans came in and ran the show, which is what you think you want
Mm-hmm.
when you have to replace the person in charge, but you don't actually want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of felt like.
It's
But there was even parts in that were good.
Definitely agreed. Arbed's girlfriend was like a highlight of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also didn't hate the Brita subway thing. I thought that was funny.
Loved that. Wait, that was season 4?
I think it was, and I think it was revisited as Honda or Toyota in the next season.
Yeah.
I might have been wrong about the timeline there, but yeah, there were definitely redeemable parts of it for me as well.
Well, if that was in season 4, that's really good. I think it's. I'm not sure anymore. It's in season 5. It's called Basic Sandwich, and it is. I think of it every time that anyone talks about brand integration.
Mm-hmm.
That's my golden standard for like brand integration done well, and like I give Subway major props to signing off on it, because like it just I don't know. I think it's a good take on.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it didn't really make that many jokes at Subway's expense, which I have to imagine was kind of a limiting factor from the corporation of it as well.
No, but like it's kind of like even having a character who like despises the concept of like Subway as a corporation being the focus of the episode in addition to Subway. Boy, we're just like really just not talking about things that everybody understands today, aren't we? Gee, what about that one episode of Adventure Zone or that one episode of Community? In the episode of Community, a man represents Subway. He is a man, and he is a corporo humanoid. He represents Subway, but he's a student at the school, and his name is Subway. There, everyone's caught up.
There you
These
go.
were not weeds.
He's also played by the dude who was like JD's understudy in Scrubs. His name was Dudemeister or something. Like his last name was Dudemeister.
I have not seen much of Scrubs.
I think I used to be nutty for it. Like back when I was
nutty for
14,
Scrubs.
15, 16, something like that.
Yeah. I think that's probably when I watched, and then I just was too slow, and then I just stopped watching. It seems like the kind of thing, like I always feel like I'm missing like a show to have on that. I mean, probably because I don't have time for this anymore, but just like a show to kind of have on that you can like mostly pay attention to. Like that doesn't demand like your full attention.
So I've been doing that recently with Arrested Development, just rewatching it, except for the end couple seasons, because I did watch those, and I was like, I didn't need to do this. But I've been doing that recently with Arrested Development, and Arrested Development is very, very dense in jokes, right? And there are a lot of visual gags.
That's what I was about to say. Like that seems like the ultimate show that you almost can't.
But you don't have to catch all of them. Like most of them are designed to just wash over you. So when you tune back in, when your video is rendering or whatever, and you tune back in for a second, you're like, oh, this is so dense with all of these jokes. And then when you're not doing that, you just passively absorb the ones that you can.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, actually.
Yeah. Huh. I was, this story. When I was learning Spanish, I was using Arrested Development with in Spanish with English subtitle. When I was, that was the show. I don't know why, and then I just realized, like, boy, it's so dense. That's a tough one. That like I gave myself a tough one because it's.
I wonder how that would work with comedy, because comedy is like very heavily based around connotations and delusions and idioms and all of those kinds of things that are like master level knowledge of the language, and usually it's social knowledge of the language rather than just like mechanical knowledge of the language.
Or what if they fall down funny though?
Got him. Get dunked on. One of my favorite prevailing jokes. Oh, wait, they fought too?
They fell down first.
Comedy gold.
Can you believe it? I know, right? It's very funny. It's so transcends language.
It's. I mean, I guess that does.
It does, but it's also like not funny
No.
as much as my very convincing laugh made it seem like.
I was hoping that my laugh wouldn't sound too convincing because I was like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm
Exactly.
actually like,
Yeah,
Farth
it's like
is
balancing my
top of comedy.
level of wanting to prove that I'm a good actor, but also wanting to make sure the joke lands.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Riding that line is a difficult one at times.
What's another deep cut? Let's just make this the deep cut.
Oh, hell yeah.
What's a very specific thing that you think I might have seen that will not appeal to everyone listening?
Very specific thing that I think that,
It's-
well, I mean,
We're
because
gonna
like,
make the thing is we're gonna make some people really excited, like who know one of the things they're gonna be really excited. Two people they're gonna be like, oh my god. Three things, or one thing they're excited. Two things, oh my god. Three things they're gonna be like, these are my boys.
mm-hmm. I've had someone comment that recently, actually, based off of like a fair few references I made. Like, you listened to the Jake and Amir podcast back when it came out initially. You Paul Shapiro musicals. You've got covered the Adventure Zone and the McElroys broadly. Like, just listing all of the different things that I'd made subtle references to. Like, are we the same person? I'm like, hell yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of pepper those in my content so people,
Hell yeah. Oh.
like, if they recognize it. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
fun
the thing.
little thing.
Well, that's like to tie it back. Like that's one of the things that has always like impressed me about the television show community is it's like unbelievably chock full of references, but you don't need to understand them to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you don't understand them, you don't even notice. You don't even, a lot of the times you're like, this was a funny thing that the show did, or like the homage, like they do spoofs or homages on things, and they're like, it's just a funny episode.
Yeah.
And you don't need to know that it's referencing X, Y.
That is one thing I really appreciate about it, because it's it's very stark in contrast to the kind of comedy that came before it, of, you know, your Family Guy era of, I'm just going to reference a thing, and if you don't get the reference, well, sucks, you don't get the laugh at this one.
Yeah, this one's not yours. Not for you, Lois.
Lowish.
I have watched very little Family Guy.
Oh, I watched a lot of it when I was a kid.
I think there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like I watched like I don't know. I think I was like, my friend would watch it, and like when it was on, I was not upset at it when I was younger and it was on. Like I was not like, this is unbelievably stupid. Like it's one of those things where it's like, it's so popular that I think that it like, I mean, I don't know if it even is anymore. I'm sure it is. That it like, it moves over that point where now everyone like just wants to only hate on it and like pretends that it can't have any merit, and never could and never did. And I think that like, even though I didn't watch it, I'm like, things don't get that big if they have zero merit, you know?
Yeah,
They don't get that big if they have zero merit.
There are people who will make comparisons between like the early seasons of Family Guy and the later seasons of Family Guy, doing the same kind of like, Simpsons happened and then Simpsons was good and then Simpsons was bad, and then, you know, it's justified because these people were on the writers team in the first couple seasons and then they left afterwards, and now I have like a basis around which I can form my argument that it was good back when I watched it, but if you like it, ooh.
Yeah. I liked Reto and Rhaps Stardew until they replaced Rhapsody with just talking animal. It's kind of like, I feel like they jumped the shark a little bit.
I know, but
how are your fins, by the way?
They're really, really. You said fins?
Yes.
Wet. They're wet. Wet fins. Just trying to make sure that I had
how's your computer holding up underwater? Did you get it fully waterproof?
No. See, the thing is, I've got like a water suit around myself that just keeps me encased in water at all times. Yeah, that's the way we go.
Well, that seems like the way to do it. Yeah, that's.
I don't understand why everyone doesn't do this. I am the only below sea creature that has decided to do this.
I mean, and you're gonna corner the market. It's like the, it's like that PewDiePie thing where like he was the #1 in his country, so they served him. Everyone in his country got served his videos.
Yeah, and then he moved and did it again.
And then he moved, and he had like a huge head start because of it or something. And then YouTube, I think, changed the way that worked. It's exactly like that.
I wonder how much of that is actually true and how much of that is just Matt Pat being Matt Pat. Because like that was the video that kind of broke that news.
I didn't even remember what that came from.
Yeah.
So I believe it a little less now. Now that it's one of those things where you get information from somewhere and then you're like, oh, that's where I got it? I don't trust.
Well, I mean, that's what they were trying to teach you in school, right? Sourcing. Do you trust the source?
Sourcing in Australia?
Yeah. Do you not?
I mean, that's yeah, but I feel like not. I feel like it's kind of like you should do this, but who cares? At the same time, kind of like the whole MO of this is what it feels like. I don't know. I feel like I remember basically nothing. I don't know how I function as a human adult. I'll be honest. I function on a screen, that's all.
But did you have, like, do you need to know all of the things that you would have learned in school? Like, sourcing would be useful if you are, making that many arguments online and you're not sourcing your stuff correctly, which, no one does that at the moment.
Nobody
Definitely
does
not
that
at all.
anyways.
Of course.
Yeah. Source? We don't need no source.
Did you hear that Twitter is apparently looking into creating an option where you can only talk about articles if you have read them?
See, no.
I don't know how they're going to verify that.
Here's the thing. I did read something like that, and I think I know what you're talking about. And what it is how that's
I wouldn't know. I didn't read the article because Twitter hasn't made me do it yet.
That's what I was about to say. I wish Twitter would have stepped in right now because you're spreading disinformation, my boy.
Okay, how does it function? Because I did only just see the headline.
Let me tell you how it functions. It's not even nearly as disastrous as you'd think.
Oh, beautiful.
When you retweet an article, they ask you if you want to open it first, and you can say no.
Oh.
That's it.
I mean, that might be a small social pressure that helps. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't think if it's that, like, that's not bad. Like, you say no and retweet it anyways. You live in life like normal. Mm-hmm. It's not like, they're not putting a little banner on your thing that said, this guy didn't read the article.
Yep, no, that's what they're doing.
Fun of him.
They're publicly shaming people for not reading articles, and I frankly don't stand by it. I can't
Rhapsody
believe
did not read the article. Sorry, I'm being the thing above. I'm being the thing above.
Very, very well deserved. Ironic proof of having not done it. To be fair, the news only came out this morning. I had not time. But also, that's what everyone would claim, and I was never going to go back to it to watch it, so...
I know, I think that's it. That's everyone. That's like, I read the headline. I didn't have time to finish it. This is what I feel about the little bit I saw, and I really am mad about what it seems like it is. And sometimes it's true. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it sucks more than the headline because they're just trying to bury it.
Yeah, that has been very weird, especially recently. Obviously, I don't need to...
I'm glad I can't read.
Yeah, it's a handy skill to have at the moment. I obviously don't need to point out what it's been very weird about, but in particular, like, the passive voice is getting a real workout these days. Headlines just be like, oh, this person was blinded. Really? What happens? How did they get blinded? Headline, why don't you tell me?
Yeah.
They tripped over and shot themselves in the face. Oh, yeah. Well, not weird.
It is weird.
Oh, spicy eel. You're gonna be moving so fast. Like Sonic.
Running circles around you.
That's like an oblate spheroid right there.
I'm lucky.
I'm lucky?
I got +1 luck.
Ah, right. The spicy eel is actually like a really, really good thing to eat in the desert because some of the enemies drop it in the desert mines, but also it gives you extra luck, so you've got, larger chance of finding your ability to get down to the next floor very quickly, as well as larger chance to find gems and stuff like that. And it
Well,
gives
I
you the
did
extra
it
speed,
because
which
I
is
wanted
also
a
super
button to
useful.
click, so...
That's totally fair. It's good to occasionally have a button to click, because yesterday I kind of just walked around and did nothing all day because just there was nothing to do.
It's okay.
I'm still just waiting
It's
for
okay.
rain.
I'll repeat this for you and all of the comments. This is a podcast. Okay? We're not talking strats. I don't know the strats.
While that is true,
I don't want to know the strats.
While that is true, there is also the slight goal to this series of completing the bundle, and because you can't do any of the bundle stuff, I have to keep being like, what do I do for the bundle? I need to make sure that, like, there's nothing I need to do for the rest of fall.
Yeah.
Well, but speaking on that, we've got very little left in fall, and then after it, winter, which will bring the end of many of our bundles. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody. His name has been Reto of Retromation. There's a link in the description down below to all of the kinds of things that you could possibly be looking for. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.